The parabola y equals x squared is dilated by a factor of 2 from the x-axis and reflected over the x-axis. The graph is then translated 3 units in the negative x direction and 2 units in the positive y direction. For part A, we want to state the rule of the image graph. So it is possible to take these transformations and put them directly into the turning point form of a parabola. So the image graph, which we're going to call y1, is going to be equal to, and now a dilation by a factor of 2 from the x-axis is the same as having a 2 in this position, and a reflection over the x-axis is going to be negative 2, and that's going to be at the front of the x squared part of the function. So here we're going to have x, and for a translation of 3 units in the negative x direction, that's the same as having x plus 3 inside the brackets. So that'll be negative 2 x plus 3 all squared, and then a translation of 2 units in the positive y direction is going to be a plus 2 in this position. So that's the equation of the image graph. So for part B, we want to sketch on the set of axes provided the image graph, and we clearly need to label any axial intercepts and the turning point with their coordinates. So the first thing we can do is find the y-intercept of the graph, and this occurs when x is equal to 0. So we're going to have y is equal to negative 2 times 0 plus 3 all squared plus 2, and that is equal to negative 16. So we find that the coordinate of the y-intercept is 0, negative 16. Next we need to find the x-intercept of the graph, and this occurs when y is equal to 0. So we're going to solve the equation 0 is equal to minus 2 x plus 3 all squared plus 2. And now this equation can be found by undoing the operations around the x plus 3 squared. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to subtract 2 and then divide by negative 2. So we're going to find that x plus 3 all squared is equal to 1. So x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 1. And then if we subtract 3 from both sides of the equation, we find that x is equal to, and we're going to have minus 3 plus 1, and x is equal to minus 3 minus 1. So the top line will give minus 2, and the bottom will give minus 4. So the coordinates are going to be minus 2, 0, and we're going to have minus 4, 0. Finally, we need to work out what the turning point of this parabola is. And luckily, this is already in turning point form. So we know immediately that our turning point is at negative 3, 2. So now all we need to do is sketch that graph and label the key features. So our graph is going to look something like this, where we have our turning point at minus 3, 2, one intercept here at minus 4, 0, the other intercept at minus 2, 0, and our y-intercept at 0, negative 16. So that's the graph of the image graph under this transformation.